Hi everybody. Today is Monday, January 15th, 2024, the year of our Lord, 2024. Happy MLK Day, everybody. And today is episode number 34 of Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. I am the Babbling Jane.
And I am Julie. I can't believe it was that easy to do this. Something's bound to go wrong. No, it's 2024. It's an even year.
It's the year of the dragon.
Yeah. Oh.
It is. It's the year of the dragon.
I was just glad it was an even year. I had no idea what animal was connected to it.
I think for the rest of the year, we should just stitch things that have dragons in them.
Because that sounds like fun.
Doesn't it?
Not. Well.
Remember Dragon Tales?
Yes.
That show on public television.
Yep.
Sometimes randomly in the middle of the afternoon, the theme song will go through my head. What an earworm that thing is. Well, anyway. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Thanks for tuning in. And it's frigid, cold here in Minnesota, but Jane has the day off, so we thought this would be a good time to do it during the day rather than tonight when it would be really cold.
Yeah.
And
you know what? Honestly, nothing says Flosstube like Martin Luther King Day.
A little short story. When Bella was little, she came home and she said, "Did Mama send you the calendar for January?" And I said, "No." And she goes, "Well, on there's a day we have off because it's Milk Day." She says, an entire day devoted for our appreciation of milk. And I looked at her and I'm like, no, that's MLK Day. That was 9 years ago, and it still makes me giggle because it comes up on my news feed.
Wasn't Belle the one too? That was like, she wanted milk karate. No, maybe that was Evie, and it was milk variety. But it came out milk karate.
Yeah.
What are you having for lunch? Blah, 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 milk karate.
Or Bella said one day, what did you have for lunch? She had a cold cut sandwich, apple slices, and milk. And I go, what kind of milk did you have? Because they have the choice between chocolate, skim, or, 2%. And she said, I had the blue carton. And I go, oh, that's 2%. She goes, no, it's 100% milk. So.
Oh, how the young minds work.
I know, it's so much fun. So, got anything to share? Or we're all off course? We're good?
I ain't got nothing.
Well,
I live in a chair. What do you expect me to have to share?
And I'm retired.
Oh, the lever was really easy to work this morning. It was a good day. Got those legs really elevated.
You got ejected just fine.
The pillow was under my knee just right. I mean, those are my life updates.
Well, then I'm sure inquiring minds want to know, did you get a chance to stitch on anything?
Julie, thank you for asking.
Let's get this show rolling.
I did stitch on a few things. Let's see. This is
every time
Wisdom
I see that.
By Teresa Kogut. And I am doing this as a stitch along with Leslie of Fat Cat Flossing.
Hi, Leslie.
Both on Instagram and on YouTube, Flosstube. I will link her below. And I am doing this on 36 count Affogato, 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads with all of the called for DM fleas. And there are a couple of fancy flosses in there.
Fancy flosses? We need lunch.
We really do need lunch.
We should have lunch before the Flosstube, not after.
And here's my progress.
It's beautiful. Every time you pull that out, I'm like, dang, nabbit, I got to get more than 8 stitches in mine. Beautiful.
I'll be honest, when I first started stitching it, I was a little disappointed in the color palette because I thought it's awfully tan.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I stitched on it a little more, I love the color palette. I'm having a great time. Pardon the thread and the needle. I was working on it a little bit this morning. About 4:30 a.m. as a matter of fact.
Too early for me.
That's that one. Sorry, I'm going to put it away because if you could see this room when we're done.
It's a little full.
It's a little unruly. So that's that. And then I worked on Plum Street.
Sure helps to have tags.
This I know. And I'm doing this on a 36 count mystery linen, whatever came with the kit when I bought it, using all the called for DMCs and fancy floss, including the colors of DMC that had to be coffee dyed.
You know, when you showed me your progress, excuse me, I forgot how much more was involved in it. So I'm like, wow, you made great progress, but how much is left? Yeah, I didn't realize that whole cobblestone, or no, they're sheep. It looked like cobblestone, but they're sheep.
So this is my progress.
Beautiful. Sheep in the front meadow.
It's a lot of church to fill in, I won't lie. And then below it are, I don't know, 75 sheep, and then a lot of grass. So, but I'm glad I pulled it out again. I hadn't worked on it for a long time, and I am enjoying getting back to it.
Very nice. So that's very nice.
That. And if I didn't say, it's 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads.
Oh, okay.
And then this is IAB 1817, also known as the Rosebush Sampler or the Saltbox Sampler. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
And I am doing this on 36 count Tephra from Cedar River Linen and Design. 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads, and I'm using the Roxy Floss Co. Thread conversion. And
I have seen some photos of this. Wow.
Here's my progress.
Wow.
Sorry for the wrinkles, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, I have the vase or the urn or the thingy with the flowers. I have that to do on the other side of the main urn, and then just to close the border.
You know what?
And then I'm done.
You sent me this and you go, oh, look, I got this done. Now I have to do the one on the other side.
Yeah.
And silly me thought you were going to.
Hopes and dreams.
Like that afternoon.
Oh, gosh. I enjoy stitching on it, but that day, overnight, whenever it was, wee hours when I finished this, I couldn't bring myself to put another stitch in it.
Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when it was a light color.
And Jacob mentions in the beginning that depending on what kind of, he gives the DMCs, depending on what kind of fabric you choose, some of the colors will be nearly the same as the fabric, and that's by design.
Oh.
So some of it's meant to be kind of ghosty and very subtle.
Well, I'm sure that's what it was on the original.
Sure.
Faded or worn or whatever.
Sure. Okay, then this is Floral Motif Sampler.
That's right.
By the Scarlet House. And I am doing this on 40 count Prairie Grass by Seraphim. 1 strand of floss over 2 fabric threads, using all of the called for fancy flosses.
Oh, that's all in all in fancy, not DMC. Oh,
and
so cool.
Here's my progress.
Oh, wow. You made good headway.
I worked in this corner and did the 3 motifs further inland and then the one below. But there's not a ton left to be done. You can see where I've done the top, and the 2 side borders are started, and then the bottom border can go across. So there's a lot of motifs to be fit in there.
Yeah. It's a big girl.
Yep. I'm enjoying it. I haven't stitched on 40 count for a little while. Yeah. And so it was a bit of an adjustment. And even taking my glasses off didn't really help.
Well, like you said, they're little triumphs when you finish it. It's just a little, oh, look, I did that, you know.
Well, and there are a few on there that if it's a night where you're like, I don't really feel like stitching, some of them are really small. They're probably not more than 20 or 30 stitches.
Really?
Yeah, and you could get them, you could get them done. Like there's that little one there, one there. They're tiny.
But you still have to count, and you still have to put them on 40 count. Yeah. Oh boy.
I think my eyes are suffering from Excelitis.
Yeah.
From Excel spreadsheets.
I really envy you that you can stitch on 40 because I'd love to stitch on 40, but I just can't.
I think 32 and 36 are my sweet spot.
Yeah.
And this is Modern Folk Embroidery, the Zimmerman coverlet. And I am doing this on 25 count antique white Lugana, 1 strand of floss over 1 fabric thread, using DMC variegated 121.
I thought you said TMZ at that. What shows
I
are
don't
you
know.
watching?
My too many late nights and too many early mornings and not sleeping enough, I think.
That's not good.
And I totally blame Brenda for this of Handwork Maniac. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Boy, I know it is the season for whip parades. You want to see some parades? Go over and look at her latest 2 episodes, Handwork Maniac on Flosstube. I will link her below. She did a finish parade, a 2023 finish parade, and then a whip parade.
I love a parade.
Holy Hannah. But I have like a little bone to pick with her. Brenda.
On camera?
Yeah, I'll pick it on camera. Okay, I'm not afraid. She decided, so when you look at the pattern, when the pattern comes, it's a section about this big, and then you repeat it 3 times. She's only going to do it once. Okay. I call foul because I've already started the second repeat on one of the sides.
But let's just throw a flag on the field here for a minute. Is she not doing it on 56 count over 2?
Yeah.
So let's just cut her. Let's move the yellow line for her, shall we?
No.
I've been watching football. Can you tell?
How do they do that? Paint the yellow line.
Yeah. Erase
and then
it.
erase it and then paint it again in between plays.
Yeah. They're quick.
They're really
Those
quick.
field people are quick.
And you never see them.
Nope. Nope. Not at all.
Anyway, if she had said the very first time I watched her, hey, 56 count, what was I thinking? I'm only going to do this once. I would have been like, oh, I'm only doing it once.
Yeah.
Well, then I got ambitious or inspired or whatever. And I'm feeling like this is really going to be it's hard. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, yeah, I'm only going to do 1. And I was like, wait a minute.
Well, you told me that, and here's the thing. It's a math thing because 56 over 2 is equivalent to
28 count.
28 count. And so you're doing it on 25 count over 1.
So why should she get grace then?
Yeah. Why should... Oh.
I love you, Brenda.
I do too, but I can't deal with her when she's like this. I just can't.
And I'm like this all the time. Here is my progress.
I walk in the door and I go, did you hear that, Brenda? No, I'm just kidding. God.
So I finished this motif. I did this one. I did this nice star here and just did a little more work.
So that's the first one.
That's the first repeat. The first repeat technically ends here.
Oh, okay.
And then gets repeated. And if you could see, my back is a mess, y'all. Don't judge. I've already started down.
Yeah, well, now you made the commitment.
I know. I'm trapped.
Okay, so you want to make a statement now? Because someone might have been inspired by you to do this. And you're going to say, hey, look, I'm done. I've done 2 repeats. And then that person's going to say...
No, I'm going all the way.
Jane did. I thought Jane was doing 3 and she only did 2. I can't stand the fighting. So.
And then my other starts are all 12 and 12 for New Year's Eve. Do you want to talk about that now or do we want to talk about it later?
We'll talk about it when I show my massive progress.
Okay. Stay tuned, y'all. I have a few more little things that I started.
I don't know about
But
that.
that's what I...
Wow, you made some really good
Stitched.
progress. And you have a couple of finishes, too. So,
I have
Yeah.
3 finishes.
3 finishes. What the heck?
What is going on?
I don't know.
Hey,
know. 2024 is
Look
a
at
brand new
there's
year.
packages in here.
I know
What
I
are
saw
they
those
from?
when I cleared the table and I didn't know. So I thought, well, I'm putting them
I have
over
no
there.
idea.
I don't know.
Must be gifts.
Well, it could be stitching or it could be like
I don't think it's stitching.
allergy pills.
Yeah, I don't think it's stitching.
We won't open up that
Oh,
camera.
no, it's not. What about you? What have you been working on?
Well, I've been, you know how I had COVID for Thanksgiving, table for 2. Well, for Christmas, I don't recall asking Santa for a kidney stone, but we had that.
He's so generous.
And then, you know, like New Year's Eve said, like, hold my beer. And I suffered posterior vitreous detachment of my left eye. I'm like, that happened on January 30th. Like, just get this godforsaken 2023 year over.
Yeah.
Odd numbers. No bueno.
I mean,
So
I would have to say no thanks to all 3 of those things.
I know. So then I woke up, you know, January 1st, 2024, and I'm like, please, it's an even year. And even Steven says, I got you, girl. This is going to be a good year. It's got to be.
I'm excited then.
Yeah. So I didn't get a lot of stitching done because of those things. And luckily with my eye, it doesn't go away. But luckily when I stitch, I'm able to look through the hole of the ring.
tunnel.
Yeah, to see to stitch. But everyday stitching, yeah, it's kind of just like this floating, not fun thing. So that's why I'm looking, kind of blinking, thinking I have a hair in my eye, but it's not. It's just my little eye issue. So what I did, I had a finish, and then I decided to work on an old whip because I'm trying to get my last year whips all done.
Mhm.
So I pulled out the language of flowers, the lupin. I call them lupins. Maybe they're lupines. I don't know where you live, how you pronounce them. And this is stitched on 36 count Affogato linen by Fiber on a Whim. I wrote it on the back. With the called for dinky dye silks.
Oh, and those colors
And this
of silks
was
just
the
kill me.
first silks I had ever, I want to put it so you can see them. The first silks I had ever used. And I do like them. Yeah, maybe up against the white. They're kind of scraggly, but they're very subtle colors. And then this is my progress. Now, I only had one of the little stems done. So I finished another one, and I'm starting this one right here, which is a tall one. And then, yeah. And I love this saying. The saying is, the laughing hours have chased away the night. And when I first saw this, I thought of you and me when we would be up at the Castle Haven, and we would stitch and laugh all night, and the hours just flew. So I can't wait to get this finished. So that's what I like I said, I do have a finish, but this is what I was working on. And then I too attempted the 12 and 12, which we decided was going to be I decided, my executive decision all by my own self. I had a meeting. I chaired a meeting. I did.
Was it catered?
Yes, it was.
Did food service come in?
And snacks. There were snacks provided.
Look
But-
what's floating.
Oh,
It was.
you got to drink through your teeth. There, you've got a floss floater in her water. She's got thread. Oh, looking for you, special.
Wrapped around my finger.
Well, we could talk about
That's funny.
12 in 12 because everybody was doing 12 and 12, which was supposed to be on noon on New Year's. Correct me if I'm wrong. Noon on New Year's. You were supposed to start one project every hour till midnight.
Yep.
So,
that was the spirit of it.
the spirit of it.
It's the invention of Kia B. You can find her at Kia B Quilting, I think, on Flosstube. I will link her below. And it started a few years ago. Her husband always has to work on New Year's Eve, and it got to a point, I think, where her kids were of an age where they were kind of entertaining themselves a little bit, and she found herself kind of at loose ends on New Year's Eve. And so she came up with the idea of pulling people together in a community to do this 12 starts in 12 hours. And I heard of it last year. I have to say I didn't really understand what it was. And then I heard about it this year, and I thought, well, let's do some like form of it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to start 12 projects, some people find, I don't know, 6 whips and work on them 2 hours a piece, or 3 whips for 4 hours a piece. Or some just find one whap, and they work on it the entire time. It's whatever like works for you. But we decided we would try it this year. And so we tried it this year.
And we made that decision both sober.
Responsibly. We made the decision responsibly.
What were we thinking?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't start at noon stitching anything. I found the pipping, for those of you who don't know what a whip is, a work in progress. I think there's some people that might not know anything about stitching who watch it just because they know
I've
us.
heard.
Yeah. So a whip is a work in progress. A pip is a preparation in progress, because pipping up a project is monumental, to say nothing about 12.
And it's my least favorite part.
Yeah, and so I found myself on New Year's Eve day in my jammies, still feeling sorry for myself about my eye. That was a multi-day process, but I had a little bowl of M&Ms, and I just pipped all day.
I would have gone through multiple little bowls.
Yeah,
of
and then
M&Ms.
on the hour, every hour, made sure I stopped and had some.
You have to have nourishment.
Pity party. So.
Well,
But while the process was, I know you were frustrated too, getting ready with your projects.
yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. Pipping is not my favorite thing, and I don't like starting new things. I like stitching on new things, but ultimately, if I ever won the lottery, I would pay somebody to come over, and I would pull stuff and say, "Here, figure it out." And then just hand it to me with stitches already in it, and then I would be like good to go. Which is a terrible thing to say, because I have so many beautiful fabrics and more fiber than I know what to do with. But and I think probably it's due partly to, it seems like a simple thing. You come and you sit in a chair and you pull something, but it's a hardship sometimes.
Yeah.
So I had something in mind.
Do share.
Well, a long time ago, I collected the With Thy Needle and Thread word plays. So there's a word play for each month, and I thought, oh great, 12 and 12. There's 12 months in a year, right?
Yes.
I will do those. They all get stitched on the same fabric. They're all relatively the same size, and so there was one day. And I think they're all pretty much Gentle Arts sampler thread.
Oh, I was going to ask you if
so one day I took the 12 projects out, and I wrote down all the colors of floss that were needed, and then I had Mick come in here and get my Gentle Arts bin, and then I asked him to get the big orange puke bowl out of or at your house it might be the popcorn bowl. I don't know.
I have a
at our
stainless
house,
steel bowl for that.
It was the puke bowl and the popcorn bowl. And the bowl that the taco salad got mixed in for the girls' family picnics. So I had him bring that so I could, as I went through, I could like chuck things so there wasn't a landslide all over the room. And picked up all of the colors that were needed for, can I even find it now?
Maybe it's with that pattern I lost earlier. It's a little...
Oh, maybe it's in here.
I don't know, what's it?
Look at wordplay.
Wordplay.
12.
It says 12.
But look at the number of colors.
Oh my gosh. Seriously.
Yeah.
They would slide all over.
Yeah. So luckily I had all the colors.
You had all of them?
Mm-hmm. All the colors that were needed. And then I decided not to make working copies of the pattern because they're in color and they're not that complicated.
Yeah.
And then I decided I would start with December and start as many as I could throughout the day. And then the idea after they were started would be, now, today's the 15th. I'll try to finish January before the 1st of February and then stitch February in that month and just keep going. That was my idea. So once I pulled the floss, then it was easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to cut fabric. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
And I don't have a good fabric scissor, and I was doing it on my lap.
Oh.
Sorry, Pat, if you're looking down. So that scissor was like chewing through the fabric. So
you could have used your little ones, and you could have nipped it, for all 12 inches.
So when I show you my whoops, the things that I've started, please don't judge for how horrible the fabric looks, because I just did the best I could, which is kind of sad, actually.
Well, why didn't you start?
Okay.
So what, you started with December?
I started with...
Ooh.
Oh, no.
No, that is
I
not
can't show
good.
you the patterns.
Wait, I can maybe nab it.
No, it's
Oh,
it's okay.
we can't. Well, that's
It's
the
okay.
whole show, folks.
Thanks for tuning in.
No, we can get it.
No,
We can't.
we can't get it.
Oh, no, Jay.
Okay, so just...
We can, too, get it.
All right. So, Google with my needle and thread wordplay December. Here is my start.
Do you want to cut and restart? Do you want to merge a video?
I don't know how to merge a video, so.
Can you move your foot so I can snark it over? Yeah, you wait. Hold, please. Da, 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 da. I'm going down. Oh, hang on.
It's like Cirque du Soleil, everyone.
Don't start laughing. I got it.
Thanks, Julie.
Oh my gosh. Ta-da!
Stuck the landing.
I stuck the landing.
All right.
Oh,
okay, let's start
that would have
over.
been a really
All right,
short
and scene.
Hi.
Hi, with my needle and thread. This is December.
They needed to be seen.
Sure. Okay.
I would have taken one for the team and gone.
And here's my progress. Okay, one thing that I learned from 12 and 12 is how little stitching you get done in an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, so I had all the floss, and I had all the floss pulled for the subset of the floss pulled for December.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't so bad. But by the time you find the middle of your fabric, the middle of your pattern, wherever you're going to start, you find the color, you thread your needle, you're already 10 minutes in.
Well, and it's lunchtime because we started at noon.
And there's college football on all day.
Oh, beautiful.
So you don't get a ton of stitching done, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine.
The colors, may I add, are very subtle, but up close, if you were sitting here on my lap with me, you'd see that whatever that color is really has beautiful variegation in such a subtle way.
And I'm doing these all on 36 count vintage country Mocha, and I'm doing it on the
marbled side,
on the stamped side, the printed side. So that's
pretty.
December.
Okay.
Okay, and then here's January.
That's cool. Snowman. Sled, may I?
And here's my...
So what the word play is, it's January, and the words are cocoa, scarf, mittens, sled, boots, cold, snowman, sleigh, burst. So that's the word play of the pattern.
And then small motifs.
Yeah, small motifs.
Yep.
That are,
Yep. So here's my progress for January.
Cool. The colors are warm. I like that.
Yeah. And then this is February. Valentine chocolates, roses, be mine, sweetheart, Cupid, hearts.
And are you going to do these in pillows, or are you going to put them in the drawer?
They will go in the drawer of no return.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want to. I wonder if you got a standard frame, since they're all the same size, and you could pop them in.
Well, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
I would just pop them.
Yeah.
Here's my progress for February.
Cute.
All right.
I'm like, where are the patterns? You must have them separately.
I have them just in a big stack with a clip, a binder clip.
Got it. Because I'm like, wow, there's missing some stuff here.
And this is March. In Like a Lion, shamrocks, crocus blooms, spring, windy, snow melts, robins arrive.
I know my mom's birthday was March 1st, and she always wondered, am I going to come in like a lion or a lamb? That was always a thing in our family.
My mom's birthday is in March too.
Yeah.
And this is my progress.
Ooh. Out like a lamb.
Yeah. And then, April, which is the best month of all. Tulips, pussy willow, Easter eggs, jelly beans, peeps, rain.
Jane's birthday, my anniversary. It's all in there.
It's all in there.
Cute bunny.
I love the bunny in the wagon.
Yeah, let me see that. He's in a wagon that says seeds. Yeah. He's kind of got the same outfit on as
Peter.
As Peter in that.
Peter 2.0.
Yeah.
And then here's my progress.
Cool, cool. Do you like doing words?
I do like doing words.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for words.
And then May was I only got 7 things started. May was the last one I started. Clay pots, potting shed, dirt, hoe, a time to plant, seeds, flower, garden.
Okay, can I ask you a question? When you're doing a word, do you do each letter individually and bind off, or do you travel?
It depends on how far apart the letters are and how dark the fiber is. On these, as you can see, I traveled.
Did you travel?
Yeah, I traveled.
But you're only using one thread. So it's not like one strand. It would be real noticeable.
Yeah.
I often wondered that because I've got one where there's an alphabet, and I'm like, am I supposed to bind? I know there's no rules, but I was just wondering what you did. Because I didn't know. One woman said, well, I don't like to travel more than 10 stitches. And I'm like, oh, I've never traveled that far.
If it's a couple stitches, I'll travel. If it's more than that and it's a dark fiber, I will bind each letter off.
Okay.
I start with a pin stitch, which works great.
And a pin stitch is?
So the way I do it, if you picture the X.
You're not on screen.
If you picture, let's see. If you picture an X, I start here and do like a quarter stitch up, and then go up and over and do a quarter stitch back down this way. And then that way, when you finish the cross, you're covering like where the two little stitches intersect. So it's, as we say in the IT biz, it's transparent to the user.
And that's a secure start. Do you work over the tail then?
Yeah, I work over the tail. One of the things that I'm finding, the bad habit that I got into, is when I do the pin stitches especially, I get a false sense of security, and I don't leave much of a tail. Oh. Which is fine because it's secure, but then in the back you've got all these like little ping, 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 ping. Yeah. And they're hard to get under individual stitches.
Well, look at that. I learned something. I've often heard of a pin stitch, and I didn't know what a true pin stitch was.
There are, I think, 3 or 4 different ways to do it. That's the way that was easiest for my brain to wrap around.
Makes sense.
Someone I was watching recently on Flosstube talked about someone who invented a way to do a loop start with 1 strand of floss. And I am going to have to Google that and find out. If I remember and I can find the video, I will link it down below.
Interesting.
And here's my small.
Ooh, I like the blue.
Start on May.
I like the blue.
Yeah, I didn't iron. Sorry, y'all.
Fun.
And just to finish out, here is.
So if any of you don't want to do all 12, pick your
couple.
pick whatever month you like.
Yep. Here's June.
What happens in June? Because that's my birthday.
Flag Day, Julie's
Flag
birthday.
Day, lemonade, summertime,
Ladybug,
catching fireflies,
strawberry pie, picnics.
What's that one?
And then this one is July. Fireworks, shells, stars and stripes, parade, a day at the beach, sunshine. I think
that's
this
a cute
one is
one.
just so adorable.
Yeah, that one's really cute. It would be hard to choose, so I get the.
August is a nice one. Bee balm, herbs in full bloom, thyme, bee skep, rosemary, sunflower. That'll be a cute one.
August. Yep. Gotta love some herbs.
I love me a good herb. And then September, arithmetic, September, back to school, apple for the teacher, reading, writing, autumn, ABC. That one's really cute.
That's a cute one too.
Sorry for the glare. Here. And then October, harvest pumpkins, hay rides, bittersweet, crow, acorns, witch.
And it's not like they're all different. They've got the same similar layout, but they're all different.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun to do every month.
And you'll find when if like you did like I did, you make an inventory of the floss, that a lot of the colors are carried into multiple patterns.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So November, give thanks, bounty, cranberries, pilgrims, pumpkin pie, Indian corn, cornucopia, and turkey.
Oh, that's cute.
So I think it would be a very doable thing.
And December, you didn't show December. Not at the beginning.
Oh, I didn't? Reindeer, sleigh bells, Christmas, twinkle, holly, believe, Saint Nick, joy, and Mary.
Because you dropped the bag.
I dropped the ball on the whole thing.
Thank goodness we could recover that.
God.
I have a little Charlie horse in my left hip, but
she'll need to go to a massage therapist immediately after filming the episode. So those are the 7 that I have started. I think it's a reasonable thing to be able to stitch it in a month.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I would have started the other 5, but I have to. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? I started another one. I started June.
Oh my
hey,
God,
everybody, I lied.
Stop the presses.
I started June. I have to cut more fabric now, and that's a huge challenge for me. I have a project that I wanted to start.
Too bad you don't have a friend that could maybe help you out with
Shannon Christine.
You think?
She's kind of expensive, I've heard. So I will start the others, but probably the month that I'm going to stitch them. But I've got a head start now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll be able to finish January by the end of January and so on. But yeah, that was my 12 and 12.
Fun. Good choice.
I think, and it was fun. Kia B went live on Instagram, I think 3 times during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I don't remember what the first live was, but then there was Shelly from Antique Needleworkers, and then at the end of the day, it was the Floss Boss and cousins, Christy and Callie, and they did a giveaway. And Kia had been hearing from people all day. So when she went live on Instagram, she would kind of share what people that were participating were saying and what they were working on. And so I would definitely do it again. I don't know that I would try to start 12.
Yeah.
Because of the pipping. I did consider coming in here and pulling out 12 shepherd's bush already garanimal things. And then I thought, what are you doing?
You wanted to do these words. You've had them for some time.
For a long time. Yeah.
That you've wanted to do them. And I think that's what Jane and I kind of talked about is let's do something that we want to stitch this year.
Being intentional about it.
Yeah. But when we first started the Flosstube, I kind of was gearing, because I hadn't cross-stitched in a lot of years. It was just all hardanger. So I kind of stitched what I thought might be fun to show. Mm-hmm. I liked the pieces I stitched. Yeah. But now when I started my 12 and 12, I'm like, I'm going to stitch what I really want to stitch. Whether it's a subject matter or a designer that is popular or, I just really wanted to stitch things that, as Catherine would say, brought me joy. So but the pipping was a nightmare.
People say, well, why do you like shepherd's bush so much? Garanimal.
They're all done. Mix and match. Pull them out and ready to go.
Yeah, you just have to sort that fiber.
Yeah. Well, mine is, may I show mine?
Please.
Well, I kind of cheated on I'm going to be leaning. Sorry, I don't have mine up high. But I do have mine in bags. That was another thing. I had to find a bag for it. Had to do the tag. Had to do the name tag.
I wanted to separate mine out, but I would have had to purchase 12 more project bags. Well, what a problem to have.
Oh, it is. Just terrible. Mine is, my first one is the Little Robin Designs Christmas at Grandma's number 3. I don't know what the 2 and the 1 look like, but these are stitched on 32 count Lugana Stormy Night with the called for ? I don't think so. Fibers, because there were a lot of CC,
Crescent Color Works.
No, Classic Color Works, which I don't have a lot of. Used to be
Crescent,
but I have this little figurine, a version of this little Santa guy that was Tom's mom's. So I matched the red. So I didn't stitch an hour on them. I just stitched till I thought, I like that start. So this is just his little, want to be my Vanna? Sure. My little Santa. And I like the red that I chose because it seemed to match the red of the figurine. And then the Mrs. Claus, I just did her little outline. A little different. I love
that fabric.
Yeah, I think it looked vintagey. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna put them on blocks, and then I'll put them on the pie cabinet with the little figurine.
How cute.
So yeah, that was fun to do.
And did you cut and zigzag this fabric yourself, Julie?
Yeah, I did. So that's part of the pipping.
Good for you.
You had to find the fabric, measure, figure out what you're going to do so you knew how much
and then you
selvage.
had to cut it.
I had to cut it, and then I had to zigzag it, and then I had to find a bag, and then I had to find a ring, and I was exhausted. I'm tired. So I'm just going to throw that over there and make a pile. Okay, then number 2 is, this one. There really is something to be said about reading. The written word.
There is something about reading and then being able to follow written instructions.
Following and, just being overall an observant person, not impulsive, like, oh my God, I want to do this so bad. I want to do this because look, I was at Justine's at Welcome Stitchery, and I'm like, not only is the pattern just so cool, float like a butterfly, and then when you turned it over, what did it say? Sting like a bee. I'm like, love it. And then she had these little wood things. Oh, of course. Had to get that too.
Yeah.
Oh, pumped.
Justine. The
So-
things that you make Julie do.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this on 36 count country vintage mocha. And it had DMC colors. Spot on. Awesome. I pulled out the pattern and I'm like, cool. I was so much fun. And I'm counting this as that was
Is this
1
the
and
bottom
2.
Is this the bottom or the top?
The top.
Top.
That was 1 and 2. This was 3 and 4 because they're two
Yeah.
different things, right? Well,
I
when
love
I
the
opened up
colors.
the pattern, I'm like, well, wait, where's the piece of paper that says sting like a bee? Right?
Yeah.
It's a whole different chart. And so I get online
Wah.
and I'm going, Plum Street samplers, float. Okay, so sting like a bee. I'm typing all this in
Sting.
and there's nothing. Okay, well, I got all hot, right? This was during the pipping.
You got all
the
hepped up.
And ironically, when one takes a moment to read, it says, for the other half of the pin pair, please visit your local or online needlework shop and ask for Sting by Heartstring Samplery. It was a collab.
As the kids say.
Yeah. And if one would have read down here, it says a collaborative project with Heartstring.
Look at that.
So I said a
The
couple of
power
words.
of the written word.
Some of them, every other one started with an F, like fudge, fig Newton, and
French fries.
I'm like, you have got to be flippin' kidding me. So I had to
And
find,
then a delightful delivery later.
it was out of stock everywhere I looked.
Was it really?
I did find it. I don't even know the store where I found it, but thank you
Somewhere.
for having it. Sting like a bee, which on here it says a collaborative project with Plum Street samplers. So it's that damn reading that will get. Bella says my grandma does not know how to read. No, grandma knows how to read. Grandma just doesn't like to and chooses not to. I'm very pictorial. So once that came, I was able to do the sting like.
Oh. They're
So
gonna be,
aren't they
it's
gonna be
great.
cute?
Yeah.
So that was all right. 12 or not? 12 of 12, 12 or not?
Yeah.
We're having a Diet Coke and a cookie. That was so stressful. I'm like, I can't even. I just can't even. So, I mean, because when you're pipping, you don't want to have to stop everything you're doing to order.
No.
To order. So it says float and sting. 2
Love it.
and 3. Then this one, I have decided that besides reading, I don't like switching colors. Gal, I'm just like every other stitch.
We have to read. We have to count. We have to change colors.
I know.
Sometimes we have to cut fabric.
But in my defense, hardanger, you don't switch colors.
No, it's great.
So I was longing to stitch something red. So I chose this one by Heartstring
Oh, it's
Samplery.
beautiful.
Sing.
Joyous all together.
Yes, thank you. It's a reading thing. This is stitched on 32 count fox and rabbit, oyster, mushroom, compliments of Jane. We went through her fabric.
We shopped in the fabric stash.
Yeah. She goes, I really don't think I'll ever do anything
Probably
with
not.
this, but look it. And then I'm stitching
Of course.
it. Oh, I hope it's centered. It doesn't look. Oh, it's straight across. Okay. This is Gentle Art Sampler Threads Claret.
Beautiful.
I thought it had a nice variegation.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I have got to stitch something red.
It looks great on the fabric.
When Nicole was over, that's what I stitched.
The diagonal.
I can't stitch and talk either.
It looks great.
Yeah.
I never would have. I had no It's beautiful fabric, but when I got it, I thought, I have no vision for what this could be.
Well, and I
So
asked
I'm
her, can
glad
I take it and just see what she goes,
course.
yeah. And I'm like, you know, I hated to take it out of your stash, but, oh, and also that is 32 count, which has been hand dyed, so it really tightened up the weave.
Yeah, I bet it's like almost a 35 at
I
least, right?
am using one strand, and you know how I am with 32 being a 2-strand gal. I went with one strand. I did a sample up in the corner, and I thought, I'm all right with it looking like, you know, maybe a little
awesome.
sparse, but yeah. So that's, I don't know what number that is.
That would be number 5.
Would that be?
Yeah.
Thank you. Counting is not a good thing. I'm really rendered useless lately. This,
Oh, I have this one to start.
this one, I wanted to do this so bad, and I thought, I need to do this.
Maybe next year.
This is the one I was telling you that I had on the scroll bar,
Yep.
Kitty Wampus, and wound up taking it off.
Rocking Horse Holiday by
Yes.
Artful Offerings.
And this is called for 36 count. Picture this plus ale,
Which is gorgeous.
which also was tightened up in fiber, and all of the holes had disappeared. So it was just something that I struggled with horribly.
But look at how beautiful.
It's going to be very subtle. And what was frustrating is, no, this wasn't the project. Oh, everything was frustrating for me. The colors are really pretty. Here, let me just check it. Here, go. Take it out of your hand. Go ahead. You're better at it than I, as you can tell. The colors are very subtle. But I'm like, where are the holes? I had to take it off the scroll rod so I could hold it up.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It is very...
They tightened up so much, and then it's a linen, so there's that fine hair that it's like, oh, are you kidding me?
Wow.
I think this took me 12 hours to put in this amount of stitch.
I can see where
I
that's a
swear
big
it's
challenge.
like, oh my gosh. That was rather frustrating. I did make on top of it, I made a working copy of the chart, and the grid disappeared. So that was another thing I wasn't happy with. So, but I think I'm going to, believe it after all that complaining, I think I'm going to enjoy stitching on it. I keep telling myself. And I'm going to really like the finished product when it's done.
Stunning.
Yeah, I think so. But a challenge nonetheless.
Okay, that was number 6.
Okay. I've got a wide variety. This is a potpourri of stitching. This little cutie is With Thy Needle and Thread by Brenda Gervais. I decided to stitch him on 36 count latte. Is that what it is?
Light mocha.
Light mocha. I get my drinks mixed up.
Oh, he's so cute.
And this, I stitched
God.
more. I stitched in the evening on this, and I stitched more on it because I couldn't stop mid pumpkin head. I couldn't have him be half a pumpkin and show you that. That wouldn't be good. So, yeah, I think he's really going to be fun.
And those plaid.
Yeah, the plaid.
Oh.
And the colors, I'm not sure because I didn't pull them all. But I'm using what they called for so far, but I've only done 3 things. I'll see.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because I heard we can change if we want some colors. So that
Why does everything look so small today?
it's just
It's not going to be a good
terrible.
stitching day tonight
No.
watching football if everything is so small. I can't believe I have to go back to work tomorrow.
What day is it today? Monday? Oh. Okay, so that's number
7.
Oh boy, you're good. Okay. This one is, I wanted to stitch this one in the worst way. It's the Eliza French Birds, or as I see it and I just call it my Liza Minnelli piece.
JBW Designs, Judy Whitman. Eliza's French Birds, 1849.
And I'm stitching it on, excuse me,
36 count stone by Fiber on a Whim.
Yeah, but like, look. Oh, isn't that
pretty.
Way cool?
I mean, fabric is gorgeous.
Look at that. Beautiful. Am I in focus?
Yep.
I just can't wait. I had to put that little bit of pink of the birds because the colors aren't anything, of course, of what the photo looks like.
My birds will be blue.
Oh, you're bluebirding them?
Yep, it's going to be blue.
I was just so excited to start this. And I'm going to put this in Bella's guest room at my house. That's pink and blue.
Oh, it'll be so pretty.
Yeah, so that was number
8.
We're never going to get out of here, Jane. Okay, then, what is this one? Oh, well, you know how I did the tiny house Valentine's? That was just disastrous. That
was a color disaster for you.
I changed the fabric because I didn't have the called for fabric. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know what the color of the fabric is it calls for, then my selection was poor at best. And then I just feel like such a nag today. But when they give you, like, I don't have a collection of classic color works. I have Weeks and Gentle Arts and DMC.
If only you had a friend that had classic color works.
Well, I wasn't going to run over here.
You could have cut fabric while I was looking for the floss. We could have bartered, or you could have ironed.
I know. I wasn't driving with my eye because one of the side effects of my eye, besides this ring I look through that floats, is little lightning bolts. And I didn't.
It shouldn't be out in lightning.
No,
it's very dangerous.
So, and at night it's worse. So, I don't know. So with the Valentine one, I tried to do the substitutes, and the DMC substitutes obviously were way different than the classic color works because they were the same. They were almost the same.
Almost indistinguishable.
So even though I bought all the tiny tones, it soured me on doing them. But I thought, I'm going to do one. Another try. By golly, if it kills me. So I thought if there's one I really want to do and set out, it would be this one. So the blooming tiny tone. And I did buy, and I didn't bring it because I was like a pack mule coming in here with all my stuff. But I'll show when it's done. There's a spool, a wood spool. I bought one when I was in Keepsakes in Ohio. And then I bought one from Justine. So they're big wooden spools just shaped for this on 32 count. So when I was over here, that's when I told Jane I need a 32 count. It called for blah, 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 bang, bang, boom.
12 count. Old stationary linen.
Oh, yeah. 32 count old stationary linen. So I'm like, well, what does that look like? I thought for sure you had it, but you didn't. But we decided that this looked like old stationary linen, remember? So Jane, let me take a strip of 32 count, because it's got to be 32 to go around the spool. 32 count color and cotton heirloom. But look at it.
It's so sweet.
Fun.
That looks great, Julie.
It's fun to do.
Maybe there's enough to do. Try the Valentine's Day one on that.
Maybe. What I did with this, and I'm not the only one. I know it can't be the only one. That when you think, oh, this calls for, I did buy some classic color works. I bought 4 of them because this is what took me so long to pip. I'm like, okay, well, that's 4 stitches. No. Well, you're not going to notice a variegation in 4 stitches. So I'll use the DMC, which, can you believe it? I didn't have like 5 DMCs. I don't know. They must be tied up in another pip.
Yeah, probably.
But I looked at the pattern and I decided which houses or which roofs, that's hard to say, which houses or which roofs I wanted to use the variegation for. And then that's the ones I chose to get in the color, Classic Color Works. So there is some variegation. But you're just not going to see variegation in 6 stitches.
No.
So yeah, I'm
so
really
cute.
excited to continue on this. And I think I will ruche around it like they have it and then put it on that spool. You had sent me a picture where someone had used a button enclosure.
Yeah. Someone on Instagram used buttons and then like a loop.
A little elastic loop.
Yep. Because that way they could really easily switch them in and out.
So
I thought that was a great idea.
I think I may adapt that as well. So that was fun. This one was kind of hard to put down because we've been Netflixing and it's like, well, I'll just do the door or I'll just do this. And get me a cookie when you get up.
By the way.
Go in the cookie room.
Hey, my guy, are you going in the kitchen?
Well, actually, for Christmas, we put, we have to move the living room table out to put the tree up. So we put that round table in Bella's room, and I got a cute little Christmas tablecloth, and that's where we put the cookies and goodies. Mm-hmm. And I have little plates and napkins in there, so you can go just fix yourself a little plate.
Self-serve.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
that was number 9.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. It seems like I'm here forever. Okay, this one. Oh, this one is an oldie. You're going to giggle.
Oh, my goodness. I think I have this one.
I have several of them. I have one.
You and I and Friends. Primitive Wreath. Look at that.
Okay.
That is cute.
So I'm like, I want to put this where the kitchen, I've got the chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from 1999. The chicken says 1999, and I was going to change it. And I thought, no, I want 1999 because remember that was the end of the world.
Yeah.
I remember Tom had to go into work that night for the what was it called?
The Millennium.
But wasn't it
Y2K?
Y2K.
Yeah.
And he had to go in to make sure that the plant didn't blow up, you know,
I
or
had to
anything
be online too.
Yeah, at the stroke of midnight. So I'm sitting there going, he may never come back. The world may come to an end. But it didn't. And it took me, it's a math thing, but it took me 25 years to decide to stitch this. So when I was going through thinking what would bring me joy, this would bring me joy to get. So it's on
32 count latte.
Latte. And the reason why I did it on 32 count because it would be incredibly narrow if it was on, you know, anything finer. So this was another pipping thing. Okay. I had this in my stash of raspberry parfait. Notice 2 different colors. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, to which neither one of them is going to be enough for this project. So I needed to order raspberry parfait. Look at the dye lot that raspberry parfait is now. I'm like, wait, what?
That is a really big difference.
And I'm like, do I want it that pink? So I'm like, well, I'm going to go with what it says.
It really is beautiful.
But I think...
I do like the pink.
Okay, then, nothing's ever easy. If you look at this pattern, and I wish you were all here so I could pass it around and show you. But look at the pattern. The wreath.
Mm-hmm. That's like, that's full coverage.
Yeah, but I thought, why is there so much variegation in that wreath? Is it with 2 different colors? Well, the color it called for, because see, back in the day, it said 522. Well, you all know 522 is a very boring green.
Mm-hmm.
And does that look like one color?
No,
The wreath-
but it
the
looks
wreath
like there's
looks
some
like-
surprises.
Well, what it says to do is, if you can even think this way, the wreath is filled with cam coils, which I thought you'd get at like AutoZone or something. I'm like,
Right.
what the heck's a cam coil? Well, a cam coil, you have to go around and around and around and couch it in 3 spots. And I'm looking at the photo going, it doesn't look like that.
I was going to say French knots.
Oh, yeah, that's what you do the fill in. So you're supposed to just
I'm
random.
out.
I know, you're
I'm
just
out.
my pipping head. Can you see why I was so like
Jeez Louise.
ridiculously
Yeah.
irate that day when I rage texted her? It's like you're supposed to make these cam coils randomly, and then to fill in the space, you're supposed to do French knots. And I love a good French knot.
It's another difference between me and Julie.
Well, 2024.
The only way I
Julie,
like a French knot is if it's made of pastry.
with a light glaze.
Mm.
That would be good. So we will discuss during lunch what you think, but this picture does not show 522. No way.
No.
So, yeah, so this again, find the joy.
It'll be a stunning finish.
It's like, I think I'm going to probably stitch the whole thing in. I chose baby spinach.
I like that.
And then maybe add some cam coils for texture. Or not. So everything I went to Pip was like a big deal. So, God, what is this? Pip number 87?
That was number 10.
Oh, are you kidding? Okay, we're in the home stretch. Sorry. Because just why not? This one is Lucy Beam, Mary Snowman. And I am stitching it on 28 count pushers,
Cerulean.
by Lap and Loops, 28 count
Oh, Lord.
over 1. Because when your left eye goes, just strain the heck out of the right one. Yeah, over 1. I started it last night and I thought, you have got to be kidding me, Julie. What? It actually went pretty smooth. He's gonna be a little snowman. So I'm using 1 strand of, thank goodness it's DMC floss, over 1 28 count full crosses. Fun. And I'm gonna make them a little ornament.
So cute.
I know. And the
I
colors
love that fabric.
and the
Oh my
colors
God.
are just so bright. You
They
know,
are
just
great.
so Christmassy.
Am I spying a variegated DMC in there?
Yes, I finally found it. Believe it or not, Hobby Lobby had it. Because I wasn't going to call Justine for
Miracles
one thread.
happen at the lob every day, everybody.
Yeah, it's a variegated,
Oh.
but there again, you know where it's for? His band. It's for the band of his hat.
Well, if
And it's-
you fussy cut
I'll
it,
have to
maybe, right?
fussy select the color because you're barely going to know. But yeah, so I did find it.
And you're doing 6 strands of floss, 1 over
Yeah.
1 on 28 count?
6 strands, yeah.
Wow.
I want full coverage.
Oh my gosh.
And last but not least, good Lord, I should have just done this as my 12 and 12. That's how
You can do it.
I can.
You can still do it. He's so cute.
He is just adorable. And this is from Jane's selection. Oh no, I have to bend over. Oh, and I have to reposition. Too bad my foot won't go sideways. And then I couldn't find the color. Jane, I tore everything apart. And then I realized it's, Jane let me, I can't not say borrow. She was gracious enough to give it to me, and I will replace it should I find it, but we weren't sure if it was still available. It's Leo and Roxy 36 count catnap. I think catnap. Because I wanted something with a gray tone, not a blue tone. And I wanted something where the B5200 white would pop. One strand, I talked to Jane about maybe I should have done a 32 count and used 2 strands because I want it to really be substantial. I think it'll show. I think it will.
Too. That is a really pretty gray. Oh, it'll work great for all of them.
Yeah. But oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, it shows up really well on camera, and sometimes that stuff doesn't.
I don't know. I just, I mean, by the 12th pip, you're really kind of...
You're loopy at that point in time.
Yeah, that was a lot.
You're like, whatever.
That was a lot to do. A lot to do. So, that's my 12 and 12. I did not do it maybe stitched New Year's Eve night, but I'm hoping to work on them throughout the year. I would like to, but I'm not making a promise. I would like to finish them this year. But my objective was I have 2 very large focus pieces. I think Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot. Hi, Sarah. She calls them a focus piece, right? Is that the lingo? And it's the Forest of Sumatra.
Ink Circles.
By Ink Circles. And then it is by Carriage
House Samplings.
Yeah, Carriage House Samplings. It's the spring at Hawk Run. Hawk Run at spring. They're big and they require stitching stations. And that's hard for me because when I want to sit down, I want to sit in my recliner. I don't want to go down into my office or down into the family room. But I'm going to try my hardest to dedicate time as much as I can on those pieces. But in the evening, I needed something I could just pick up and stitch. Chair stitch. So that's what I'm going to focus on, how to do my 12 and 12. I think you're kind of that. You have some pieces too that you want to focus on, don't you?
I do. I have so many things that I want to start. But I kind of feel like I need to finish some of the bigger pieces. And I really want to, by the next time we get together, have finished the Rosebush sampler. Mm-hmm. And I also would really like to finish the Floral Motif sampler. And get those done. That Zimmerman coverlet is probably going to be a multi-year project.
You think so?
Yeah. It's very small. The counting is super intense. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love blue, it's a lot of blue.
Yeah.
And so after a while, you don't really even see the stitching anymore. Mm-hmm. So I have to go on to something else.
And also, you don't want to you never want to make an error in cross stitch anyways, but you don't want to make an error with that blue. She had to take something out. It was a nightmare because it left a fuzz trail.
Yeah.
And it's over 1. So it was hard to get it out. I had to take out 18 stitches of black over 1. And I'm like, I was almost thinking I should just start over. Because
it has gotten to that point.
Yeah. So I guess I understand that.
I love it so much. I don't want to end up hating it because I'm pushing myself and making it a chore to stitch.
Yeah, right. Just
because it is a lovely stitch. You just really have to pay attention.
Yeah.
It's not when you're watching football. It's not when you're Zoom stitching with your friends. No. It's not a car piece. It's like you have to, it's like a daytime piece when you feel pretty good and there's nice light. And then it's just a joy.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make it something I resent. So I'm just going to take my time.
Yeah, I understand that. So, well, now what do? You want to go on to finishes? Why don't you share with us your finishes?
I actually have finishes, y'all.
I know.
Okay.
And they're not going in the drawer. This one especially. Because I've got the boxes on my counter in my office waiting to be
This is
finished.
Shepherd's Bush Warm Heart.
It was a stitch along. Okay. I'm so glad you finished.
Yeah. I love her hair.
Yeah.
Just goofy as all.
I forgot how cute that was. I had gotten some wooden boxes at the Hoblob that we're going to paint, or I'll paint and she can do, or whatever, but we're going to finish them and put it on, and there would be some ruching or beads or edging too, so that'll be a fun project.
Yeah, that will be fun.
Yeah.
And then this is a start and a finish. This is Shepherd's Bush Road to Bethlehem.
The picture is very...
The pictures are horrible. And let me fix Mr. Camel.
Oh,
Right
there's
there.
a camel. I didn't see it was
there's
a
a camel
charms
and
on
a sheep.
And a sheep. Oh, just so pretty. The bands in that are really impressive.
There are lots of specialty bands, which were a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, when you look at it, I wish you could just see it up close. The specialty bands are really, really impressive.
There you
Great
go.
arm
There's
work.
that.
Beautiful.
And then,
We're going to take
this-
that to the framer, possibly.
As soon as I get the other stuff off the piano bench.
Oh,
I have
yes.
4 pieces there that are waiting to be
framed.
And I have to get those done.
Yeah.
And what's holding me up is having to iron the batting.
Having to iron, yeah. Well, now that it's a new year and all illnesses we could contract are out of our system. Yep. And we're in an even year. I'd say we're good to go for some finishing days.
Okay.
Struggling?
Well, no, I just wanted to show the pattern.
Yeah, but you're crooked.
Oh. Well, that truer words have never been spoken. This is Yellow Submarine by Blackbird Design.
And she finished.
And I did it on 36 count Summer Storm by Seraphim.
Love the fabric.
And I used... Blackbird provided a DMC conversion where there was one and only one DMC. That's what I used. When they listed 2 DMCs, which would be a blend, I used the Fancy Floss.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize until it was too late for me to change course. If you notice here, there's some amount of contrast here.
Mm-hmm.
When I stitched it using the DMC conversion, there was basically none.
Oh, no.
So I'm contemplating taking the gray up here at the top and back stitching.
Oh.
However, that leaves me with another dilemma because this thing right here is not centered the way it's supposed to be. It's one over too far. So I would have to back stitch and kind of shift the back stitch over one. And this will go to my daughter. So
way cool.
yeah, nice to have some finishes finally.
Yeah. I have that started. I have like this much of the top border done. But when I put my Christmas tree up and I saw my glass blown Yellow Submarine ornament, because Tom and I met at the Yellow Submarine. It was a bar. Yeah. And bowling alley. Yeah. I was that kind of girl.
Gotta be careful for those bowlers.
Yeah. I don't know. I was at a bar Friday night. A sports bar.
I love that place.
Yeah.
The sports page.
To celebrate Catherine's birthday.
Love it.
Yeah. You know, somebody asked, what are you doing this weekend? I said, oh, I'm going, it's my daughter's birthday and we're going to go celebrate. And I know she won't mind me saying, too bad. I'm the mom. I said, oh yeah, she's turning 40. And I got like all warm, and my heart just kind of
What's
sunk,
happening
and
right
I'm
now?
like, how can that be?
Yeah.
Where did that time go?
Yeah.
40, my baby, my youngest.
Yeah, that was just running around
40.
with diaper butt. Now they're
Yeah.
40. How does
I'm
that
like,
happen?
yeah, I'm like, wow. So, but that was fun. We went, I go, so when are we meeting? And I'm thinking like, I don't know, 6:30. But she goes, oh, we're going to start where everybody's going to come a little after 8. And I'm like, what? And I put my jammies on.
Yeah.
And we rolled in the driveway at 11:45. I felt
That was
like
a big night.
I know. Boy, I'm old.
What about you? Finish?
Finish. Oh, I have one. Ready?
Yeah.
I had to do this before I did anything else.
Oh, Lord.
This is, Egg Hunt by Satsuma Street, which Catherine just started cross-stitching a few months ago, and she's done three of the Satsuma Streets. But look at,
That is a work of art.
and that's where the changing colors, like the rabbit and the birds, they have like 9 colors in them. I'm like, seriously? But that's what gives that. It just like glows.
Yeah.
The colors are so cool that, yeah.
Satsuma Street Patterns. That's a happy stitch.
Yeah.
Now it's beautiful.
Now
Julie.
the one I have left to finish is the sugar skull one. And
Molly from Linen and Scraps. Hi, Molly.
Hi, Molly.
Hi, Kathy. Molly is doing it.
Yes. So I hope.
You have a partner in crime.
Yeah, she finished. She actively stitching on it. See, mine now is just on the bed waiting to be stitched.
I don't know how much of us are stitching is actively. It's not actively until we're holding it in our hands.
Well, that's true. But I mean, I want to keep it at the forefront because I want to get it done.
Yeah.
But there again, you're switching all the colors, and it's on black, and it's not something probably similar to your coverlet that you have to be in the right frame of mind.
The light has to be right.
Yeah, and you have to
your eyes can't be tired for sure.
Mm-mm. So that's the finish. I only had the one finish, but I did have, if I could share, I talked with Justine from Welcome Stitchery in Blue Earth, Minnesota, and we are going to offer the Hardanger Quaker Box class again this year. So here is the box.
So beautiful.
And it has feet on it. And then on the inside, I put fabric on the inside, 2 different kinds. And then I just made this little thing my own self. If you want to make yours out of leftover fabric, you can do so as well. But the class is focusing on how to do the cut work. So you will get the box and the fabric, and you can choose your own fiber. I've had some students send me pictures. One did it in autumn colors. Oh, was that ever? And she finished it in a box her husband made and saved the box for another project she was going to do. But the class is being offered Saturday, April 13th. And you can go on welcomestitchery.com and actually go to classes, and you can register and pay all on the website, or you can call her at the number shown here. So that's the beginning Hardanger class. And then the second class I'm offering is the Vintage Sampler Specialty Thread Sampler class. That's the back wall piece. Should we take it down? We're almost done with the... Ooh. It's a heavy frame. This sampler class, it's done on 26 count linen, and we're using Pearl Cotton 8 and 12. And all of the specialty stitches and some cut open work will be gone over in class. And the way I teach this is I give you a sample fabric that has, what would you say, has areas for each band already laid out. So you're not spending all your class time doing your prep work, and I'm not sending it out to you to have it stitched by the time you come. So the class will be the multi-page instructional tutorial and a sample kit and the fabric. And then she said each gal can come in and choose their own fiber. Nice. In case someone wants to do it in a variegated, or if they want to use a different tone or whatever. So you have that little bit of choice with that. So that class is Saturday, April 27th, and it also is online under classes, and you can sign up online or call. And the gals.
Oh, how exciting!
Yeah, so
how
that'll. We're hoping. We're hoping there won't be any snow.
Yeah.
In April.
As Prince once said, sometimes it snows in April.
Yeah. I know we got married in April, and it was 82 degrees on that day. So you never know in Minnesota, but I think any if you're traveling from the cities down to Blue Earth, it's a really cool little town, and
you can go to Average Joe's.
You can go to Average Joe's for lunch.
Or the BLT burger.
Yeah, the quilt shop. They've got a beautiful quilt shop there, and it's just a fun place. See the Jelly Green Giant statue? He's not real. I hate to tell you, but
no.
So that's what I'll be doing. So I will have some teaching on the horizon.
That's great.
How about, Miss Jane? Did you have any delightful deliveries?
I did. Do you
want to start? Is it still Martin Luther King Day?
Still Milk Day. Do you want to start?
Oh, I can. I just have two.
Yeah, you've got them.
I just have two. Why? It is
a Julie piece.
Joan Elliott Designs. It's the Christmas Christmas red work collection. Look at this.
Lord. It's gorgeous.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
I don't want a sheen on it there.
That's beautiful.
You can do it in so many different, you can do so many things with it.
Yeah, there are a lot of motifs you could pull out and stitch.
I had to do this for you. The blue.
Christmas in blue. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that something?
That's beautiful.
And I have her other two that are Harvest and Halloween. Like, I'm going to live long enough to stitch any of this, but I had to have them just to have.
Beautiful.
And then I had another bag of stuff that it's either at home on the table or it's somewhere. I don't know where it is. I can't find it. The only other thing I wanted to share is, I don't know if any of you use the plastic bobbins to wind your floss on. And I've noticed lately that the floss bobbins have real open, what do you call them? Thread catches that you would wind and then stick your thread in there.
Or the slot
they're real open and it doesn't hold it. And I was real frustrated with that. So on a whim, I saw that Hobby Lobby had some, and I bought a package. I was pleased, very pleased.
The lob wins again.
So I think you got 25 of them, plastic, not cardboard, for $1.49, I think it was. Real reasonable. And so I thought, well, if anyone is frustrated like I am, who still bobbinates, that's a brand. I know. I even looked on Amazon, and some of them had this slit, and I thought, well, there you go. Well, I went down and read the comments, and someone said, yeah, that's what the picture shows. That's not what you get. They were the open ones. So I thought, well, I don't want to do that, so, but if anyone's looking for a plastic bobbin, check out the Hobby Lobby if you've got one around you.
That's a good tip.
So that was all I had to share. Now I can stop talking.
All right, I'll
gosh.
do my delayed.
Thanks for enduring me.
It says Cottage Garden Samplings. Cottage Garden Samplings is starting a Fabulous House series. This was the first one. It's called Santa's House. The second one is out. It's a castle.
Are you going to do all of them?
No. I'm just going to do this one. And believe it or not, what drew me to it is the red. How ironic is that, since red is my least favorite color?
Wait, what?
I know.
Are you going to stitch it blue?
No, I'm going to stitch it red. I'll stitch it that color red. I know. Go figure.
Yeah.
And then this is Shepherd's Bush Marie's stocking. This is the newest stocking, and since I own all of them,
I was going to say, are they still coming out with them every year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Very pretty.
May I?
Yes. And then this one is called For a Friend, and this is Hello from Liz Matthews. I just thought that was really pretty, and I saw someone on Instagram or Flosstube stitch it, and it's beautiful stitched. So I had to have that. And then
I like how it's got that like postage stamp thing down below.
Because you could just do that on your own if you wanted.
Did you guys focus in on that down here? It's like a little little cutout. Real catches your eye. Way cool.
And then this is a new book that came out. This is by Yvette Stanton. And this is hardanger filling stitches.
Oh my goodness.
And this is a 280-page book.
God bless her.
Both left-hand and right-handed instructions for each stitch.
Way cool.
So this will be a day by itself with a cup of coffee and my feet up in a blanket. So I'm looking forward to diving into that one.
Good reference.
And then this is the Color and Cotton January. This is 36 count mushroom bold. And then the January colors of the month.
That's a nice neutral. Oops.
Sorry, I'm lazy. I'm not taking it out of the bag this time.
Those are nice colors.
Yeah, beautiful.
I like when that blue has a slight green tinge to it, so it's not...
Abyss.
Abyss? Is that the name of it?
And then my last purchase of 2023 was this fabric, or this project bag. This is by Gamma Treasures. I will link her shop below. I had to have it because it's sheep.
Yep.
And then a little pouch on the inside.
Oh, cute. May I?
Yep, sheep front and back. And then a little thread bed with the same fabric.
I love thread beds.
Oh.
I didn't think I would, but...
it keeps them from wisping away.
Well, yeah. And then when you have it on your armchair, you can just pick it up and move it rather than have it stick to your jammy sleeve.
And I will, like I said, I will link her stuff below. But on Etsy, it's Gamma Treasures Shop, all one word. And her, there's no way. And her name is Dawn.
Had you ordered from her before?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well made.
I went and looked. I think Christy from Floss Boss and Cousins. Hi, Christy. I think Christy has a few of her bags.
Okay.
And so I got curious one night and I went and looked, and they're all like beautiful. I thought, I don't need another project bag.
Until you saw the sheep.
And then I saw the sheep and I thought, well, this will be my last purchase of 2023. And it was.
Well, good. I'm glad you got that.
And I've yet to purchase something in 2024, and we're 15 days in.
Seriously, not me. I bought that big, huge bag to carry my stuff in. I just, I've been on the Google. I've been Googling.
I would really like to be intentional about stitching things from what I already have this year, but that doesn't mean I won't ever buy anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's got to be something I just feel like I can't really live without. I can't remember where I heard this. Maybe it was on one of the local news stations. There was a fundraiser for somebody that had a critical illness, and the t-shirt was, "I'm here for a good time, not for a long time." I kind of feel like I'm on a little bit of borrowed time. Like, I've used up many of my lives, and my luck is going to run out at some point. And so I just want to embrace what I have, because I have so many beautiful things, and I would hate to have something happen, and I haven't touched any of them.
Yeah.
So, but if there's something that I think, like Catherine would say, would bring me a lot of joy, and I just have to have it, my debit card will be Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
So.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ready to go.
I know I don't feel I need anything either. And now with starting all 12 of these, I don't really have a desire to ever pip again. I won't say I won't ever. Never say never. But I think I'm happy with where I am right now with what to stitch on. So
now you've got some beautiful things curated.
I think
it'll have to be next time.
Okay. Each video, I think, will be like a whole new thing, because we won't show 12 every time, our progress or lack of progress. But I think it'll be fun to pull something out and have it be like
for sure.
a new day.
Yeah.
So, I think that's all I've got.
I think the chair is a disaster, so I think I'm done.
And the floor, we'll never get out of here. We're just going to have to.
I have to get off of this chair.
We're going to have to
Kool-Aid.
We're going to have to Kool-Aid man out of this room. So, well, I don't know when we'll be back. We're kind of taking life as it comes to us. Hopefully in 2 weeks, but we'll just see how things go.
Yep, 2, 3.
Yep.
I can't on the 27th because it's hockey day in Minnesota. And Mick
Is that a thing?
Yep.
Oh.
And this year it's in War Road, Minnesota, Hockey Town, USA. And Mick and I always spend the day watching hockey together in our pajamas and having lots of snacks. So maybe we'll
I don't do hockey, but I'll take it as a day for snacks.
All right. Sounds good. But yeah, we'll be back soon.
Cool. Alrighty.
Oh, okay. I'm kidding. So we all made it through the holidays, and it's a new year. I don't like to think of the new year in terms of, like New Year's resolutions. I like to think of it as a clean slate and starting the year with good intentions. So that's what I'm hoping. And we hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and your 2024, an even year, by the way, is starting out on a good foot. If it's not, don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace and give yourself one more day. One day at a time, sometimes 1 hour at a time, but one more day, and then one more day after that, and then another one after that. Please believe me when I tell you, if I can do it, you can do it too. So let's pinky swear that we'll string all of those one more days together, 1 more hour together, until we meet back up here and we have another great adventure together. And until we do that, Julie and I wish you nothing but the best, health and happiness, and the abundance of all of the things that make you happy and healthy.
Yes.
So until next time, happy stitching, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping and spending some time with us.
Bye.
Bye. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Seriously. Come on up. Where is it?
Oh, God. Somewhere after the Flosstube lunch arrives in the land of Grubhub, soon there will be French fries.